Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be, not playing. I'm so used to saying that word. But today we'll be reading part 3 of The Wild Robot. We left off. Let me find it. Can't remember where it is. That's not it. I don't think I have it anymore. Okay, here we are. I'm gonna grab something. I'm in a different room today because literally my old room is literally blocked off by a bunch of sound. Let's see, babe.
Read it.
Okay. I'm gonna do, I'll figure it out later when I'm done. Anyways, we're gonna read from chapter 11 again to chapter. This is so quick. To chapter 30. Start. Chapter 11. The robot sleeps. Rod stood on the peak and watched the sun sink beneath the ocean. She watched shadows slowly sprint over the island and up to the mountainside. She watched the stars come out one by one until the sky was filled with a million points of light. It was the first night of the robot's life. She activated her headlights. She activated her headlights, and suddenly bright shafts of light were beaming out from her eyes, unlimiting the whole mountaintop was too bright, so she disturbed them. Then she turned them off and sat in the darkness and listened to the chirps of nighttime chirps of nightmare chirps. After a while, our robot's computer brain decided it was a good time to get conserve energy. So she shot and her hands to the rock, and her nose program switched off, and then in her own way the robots left. Chapter 12. The Storm. Roz felt safe up on the mountaintop. She spent the next few days and nights perched on that peak. But everything changed one afternoon when a low-flying cloud creeped up the mountain, and Roz found herself surrounded by white. When the world faded black into view, she noticed more clouds were floating south past this island. Then she heard a deep rumble behind her. The robot turned her head and saw that the sky was filled with slurring walls of darkness. Lights flickered here and there. More deep rumbles. A storm was approaching. It wasn't just any storm. It was as fierce as the one that had sent the cargo ship to the ocean. The wind picked up the first drops of rain, tapped against the robot. It was time to go. Roz opened her hands and began sliding down the peak. Hot sparkles flew from where her body scraped against the leaves and slight but slow. As soon as her feet hit the soil, she was out and running. The rain fell harder fell harder. The wind blew faster, the lightning flashed brighter, thunder cracked louder. So much rainwater was falling, the rushing rivers of rain started sprinkling up everywhere. Ross splashed down the mountain, searching through the gloom for any kind of shelter. But she had to watch where she was going. Her heavy feet slipped and tripped, and as she tumbled right into the mudslide. Aurora was helpless. The river mud whisked her downhill, slamming her into rocks, and drew her through bushes and sweeping her straight towards a cliff. A cliff! Blood was pouring off the cliff like a waterfall. Ross from cliff crawled up the ground, purposing for anything she could hold on, but only carried her faster towards the edge. And just as she was about to plunge over the side, she came to a hard stone stop. The monster surged around her, sprang into her face, and pinning her against some soil. She blew in her face with her hands and raised the thick rock roots and the trunks of a pine tree. In an instant, she was pulling herself up to the branches. The wind whistles across the mountain side, and Roz heard the familiar thunk of pine cones peeling her body. But she didn't mind them. She was just happy to be safe from the mud. She was just happy to be safe from the mud flow. The robot locked her arms and legs around the tree and waited for the storm to blow over. Chapter 15, the aftermath. I have no clue what aftermath means. Anyway, day breaks and the storm had passed, but the sound of water were everywhere. The air was filled with dripping sounds of mountain rushing and showing through of flooding streams. And then came a very different sound. It was the clean sound made when a robot slips on a wet rock. Then were quite a few claims that morning. As Roz worked her way down the hill, she scanned the aftermath of the storm. Giant mouths of mud and sand had formed below the cliffs. The island's Carson rivers had crushed its springs and slipped into the near fields and forests. Some trees had been uprooted. Others were strangled. There were upper branches poking above the flood water. Their lower branches swarmed with fish instead of birds. After such a storm, you might expect to see animals. I'll be right back, guys.
Yesterday it was in the item shop for 500. I thought you were done. No, my boss fight. Yeah, but my I thought you said boss fight, not box fight.
Box? Okay, guys, I'm back.
I'm dead, aren't I?
Okay, back. Scooper scanning among the trees, but the animals seemed to have survived just fine. Somehow they had knew the storm was coming, and they had found shelter long before it rolled in. Lowland creatures who had run on higher grounds, waiting patiently for the wild years were wading through the flooded fields. Actually, we're gonna go to 15. With mud and grit, she gave herself another good cleaning. But they removed her dents and scratches, but they only revealed her dentures and scratches. they were really starting to add up. She hardly resembled the perfect robot who had appeared on the shore just a week earlier.
You gotta teach me, please. Be my mentor.
The wilderness was taking a rope on poor Roz, so she felt something like refill when she spotted the quiet hole in the side of the mountain. It looked like a safe place for a robot. She stumped across and out to the cave, but never stopped to wonder what might be lurking within. Chapter 14, The Bears. Roz stumbled into the cave, and then she stumbled right back out. Please stay away, said the robot to the two bears, who were now nipping at her heels. You see, when Roz stumbled into the cave, she accidentally woke a brother and a sister bear from their morning nap, which is never a good idea. And to make matters worse, bears have a good idea. Woke up, which is never a good idea. And make matters worse, bears have an instinct that some to attack when the creature runs away. If the creature runs away, the mysterious sparking monster. So as the startled bears watched Roz stumble out of the cave, they had no choice at all. They stumbled and had to take up the chase. Roz tried her best to outrun the bears. She leaped over rocks and roared through trees and stumped across the mountain as full spent. But the bears were young and strong and fast, and the robot still had much to learn about moving through the wilderness. She had never even saw the tree root. Only she was stomping along. And the next morning she was flying through the air and down to a log, hung off of a soft wood to her side as she stood and faced her attackers. Wouldn't you be afraid of two birds charging at you? Of course you would. Everyone would. Even the robot felt like fear. Roz was programmed to take care of herself. She was programmed to stay alive, and as the robot watched those bears charge towards her, she knew her life was in serious danger. The bears stumbled into Roz, knocking her against the trunk of a tucker tree, whatever that word means. Then one bear drove at the robot at her legs, and the other clawed at her chest. If only the robot had swung her fist or kicked her feet, she could have scared them off. One good bop in their noses would have sent them running, but the robot found not to allow her to be violent. Clearly, Roz was not determined to fight Bear. Powerful jaws chomped her arms. Her claws slashed her face. A muzzled hurt swirled her chest. Please stay away, said the robot. Roar, said the sister bear. Grr, said the brother bear. And then the bears went in for the kill. But the robot had vanished. Chapter 15, The Escape. Using all his strength in her legs, Roz jumped straight up high into the air and landed on a tree branch overhead. The tree shook with the sudden weight of the robot. And then thunk thunk, 2 pine cones bounced off a rock. A moment later, thunk thunk, the same pine cones bounced below. The bears groaned with it. This gave Roz an idea. The robot programming stopped her from being violent. but nothing stopped her from being annoying. So Roz poked Pinecone's butt and ear and then down at the bear. Stunk, dunk, dunk, dunk. Each Pinecone bounced off its target with annoying grunt and whipped the young bears into a froze. Hold on, I need to check something. Grr, rawr, said the sister bear. Rawr, said the brother bear. Grr, said the brother. I don't understand you, bear, said the robot. Roz was about to unload an annoying when a disco echoed through the forest. Back at the cave, the mother bear was calling for those two, and she did not sound happy. The young bears looked at each other as they knew they were in trouble. But before limping home, they gathered up at Roz and sung one last time. More than anything, they want to kill the robot. And that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Goodbye.